Bend the knee!
Valamogolis, everybody, this is Don Willie, back again with another video, and finally, I am here to bring you to the conclusion of, will Bran become a villain? So in part 1, I talked about the 3 rules of warging and how he had broken 2 of them, and you know what, actually I messed up on one because I forgot to mention that he actually had eaten some members of the Night's Watch who had deserted while he was in summer. But just to recap, the 3 rules of warging that we have as laid out by Varamir Sixskins are: 1. You do not eat the flesh of another human being while you're warged. 2. You do not mate with another animal while you're warged. And 3. You do not skin change into another human being. Now, all of this might lead you to ask the question, how does this lead to Bran becoming evil? Now, I would like to clarify one thing before I go on. I do not think that Bran will be evil, but just because he's not evil doesn't mean he won't commit some horrible acts for what he thinks is the greater good. Remember, when it comes to most villains, they actually think they are the hero of their story. When we last left Bran, he was in the cave with the Children of the Forest and the Three-Eyed Crow, and he's learning how to use his powers and learning about seeing through different portions of time, and he's kind of thinking about trying to manipulate events to a certain extent. And even though Bloodraven tells him, no, you can't do that, it's not possible, he's convinced that he's able to talk to his father. Now, as we've seen in the TV show, time is sort of a closed loop, and you know, it's like whatever happened now or whatever happens in the future, it's already kind of preordained, so you can't really change things. But that doesn't mean that there aren't any ripple effects by Bran going back into the past. We've already got confirmation that Bran is actually the one who makes Walder into Hodor, and we're still not even sure where Cold Hands came from. Personally, I believe it was Bran who created Cold Hands myself. And there may be other things that he's actually done that he's not even aware that he's going to do yet. But that's not actually what I'm talking about when I talk about the villainous things that he may do in order to achieve the greater good. So with Bran not knowing the truth about the creation of the White Walkers, but only knowing that they are a looming threat, the Children of the Forest and Bloodraven are in a perfect position to ferry out the information that they want Bran to know in terms of how to deal with the White Walkers and how to defeat them. But as I talked about in a previous video on the creation of the White Walkers by the Children of the Forest, the Children of the Forest actually want to get rid of human beings, and it seems that they've been using other green seers throughout time to try to figure out how they can get this accomplished, but the rest of them just were not powerful enough to pull off what they needed done. But Bran may be powerful enough to help them achieve their ends. Now, we're well aware that the Whites can usually only be killed by fire, and the White Walkers, at least in the TV show, seem to create so much cold around them that fire is not able to touch them. At least conventional fire. We don't know whether or not wildfire or even dragon fire may actually be able to stop a White Walker. But this is where Bran probably comes in, because if Bran is able to do the impossible, which is take over one of Daenerys' dragons, he may be able to stop the White Walkers by using dragon fire, because the White Walkers shouldn't be able to get to one of the dragons in the air unless they happen to have an ice dragon of their own. Now, just because you're powerful enough to be able to take over a dragon doesn't mean you're going to be powerful enough to keep control of that dragon on your own. And I believe, and this is only speculation, so, you know, don't take this as canon, at least not yet. But I believe when Bran goes to take over a dragon, he is going to need help. And this is where the Children of the Forest will spring their trap and get Bran to do things that he wouldn't normally do if he were thinking clearly and if he weren't under distress. I believe it is at this point when Bran asks the Children of the Forest for help to be able to control one of Dany's dragons that they are going to manipulate him into burning down as much of the Seven Kingdoms as possible. I think we may have gotten some foreshadowing from the TV show about what might happen in the books in this regard. You have the Mad King, who is continuously saying burn them all when talking about the sack of King's Landing. You have Dany's vision from the House of the Undying with the Red Keep. And then you also have Bran's vision of seeing a dragon fly over King's Landing. And I don't think that's Dany's dragon just flying over King's Landing on its own. I think that is Bran controlling that dragon, and it is right before he is about to strike. It's also my belief that after Bran has seen what he's done, that he will want vengeance on not only Bloodraven but the Children of the Forest, and that his last target will be the cave where he currently resides. Oh yeah, I don't think Bran is making it out of that cave alive, and neither is anyone else who's still left. Harvey Dent said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, but in this case, it's actually die a villain or live long enough to become the hero and then wind up killing yourself, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this one. Am I totally off base, or do I possibly have something here? Anyway, yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments, and you already know the deal. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, come back for more. And sorry for the long delay, trying to get these out a little quicker. I've been having a lot of stuff to deal with lately, but that seems to be over now. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching the video, and Valor Dohiris.